Hi everybody, I just want to quickly tell you some of the new things in the upgraded version 3.6.0. So if you're on the website, and by the way, if you want to learn about these things, I highly recommend you to do the course that we have. We run one at the end of January. So anyway, so if you go to login, you can log into the current account. Now, as I already logged in here, and the first thing actually that I wanted to show you that actually is sort of like a change in the current code is on how the scale questions are organized. Now, if you use PsyToolkit, you know the scale question. Let me just quickly compile this one here so that you actually see what it looks like. In a scale question, you have something like this. Now you see a number of statements about how you see yourself. This is the 10-item personality inventory. For each statement, you need to select one of 7 statements. Now, one way to organize this is this where people select these sort of like for extroverted enthusiastic, they can they can select a box, right? And then for each item, and then when you're done with these Likert scales, I'm just randomly filling this in. Then you click the button and you continue. Now, this is now the default presentation style. So in the past it was a table. I'll show you that in a moment. The nice thing with this is that this works really well on mobile phones. Imagine you have a mobile phone and you want to see what it is on a small screen. Then this is what it looks like, right? So, and that's quite nice. So this is called responsive mode. That it adjusts it depending on the needs that you have in terms of screen width. Okay, but now that traditionally they look differently. So if you want the old style, you can have an option. You can say that I now call it table. Oh, and you show a table sort of like style. Don't confuse this with the tables in the PsyToolkit experiments. That's something completely different. And then you compile and you run it. And now you have the old style where you just, which is quite nice on sort of like a laptop screen or on a desktop screen. It's quite nice. You have the items here, so you have the Likert scale here. So that's more traditional. This is probably what it would look like on paper. But this used to be the default mode. So if you didn't have any options, this is standard how it was done, but it's not longer the case. So I changed that really because I felt most people will use surveys on mobile phones as well. Now, so there's one other option that's called build up. That's actually quite nice if you're not aware of it. It was already in previous versions. I just show it here again. So if you have the O build up option, you save. You always need to recompile it if you make a change. Then it's the same as with the boxes, but they come one by one. So if I answer this one, then uh, you get the next one, and that is quite nice. I find that really, especially on mobile phones, I find that is a nice way um, to fill in the survey. So this is so. But okay, so what the new thing is that that what is default it has been changed. Another thing that is new is and I need to go here to the correct account. So my surveys. Let me see. Okay, I need to go on a different account. Hold on. So here, if I go to a survey and I just have this new survey, for example, and I go to download, that changed a little bit. So it says here there are currently data files from 23 participants. Now, if you want to download it, you select your prepare data for download. That was the case, but it looks different now. So if you say prepare data for download, you get this sort of like pop-up. You wait. It doesn't take that long. It is actually now in the background, the server is sort of like putting all your data together into a file with zip file, like with data files, your times and everything that you need. Once it's done, it says it's complete, and then you press OK. Once you've done that, as always, you click download, and then you get a zip file on your own computer, on your own hard disk, where you can then um, analyze your data. Of course, you can always also have a quick look at how people responded. So that is another useful thing. So that changed. It was the case that you had to if you had prepared, you needed to uh, keep refreshing to see if it was ready, uh, and then I felt that was not so good. So is a major improvement. Another improvement is that so we've changed the editors. So that had to be changed actually. In the older version, you got a message that they were no longer working properly. I don't remember exactly what the message was, but that is because we use a software package actually uh, that that old software we used, it was no longer um, that specific version was no longer supported, I think. So we upgraded to a different system, and actually this looks much nicer. What I would like to say as well is that if you are, for example, on your major screen and you can have headers, heading one, header two, regular text, and so on, and then you can change the color, you can use you can make something yellow. And when you have made a change, the background becomes um, sort of like brown, and then you still need to save here. But I don't do that now because actually I didn't want to make that change. Another thing is actually that's a really nice feature is another option where you can do certain questions only under certain conditions. Now you could already do that with the jumps, but I still quickly want to show this. Say, for example, if I have a question that I only want to be done by adults, I could do something like this, right? First, you ask for age, say, and that's typically, I would use a text line for that. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Um, and your question is, for example, how old are you? Now, if you have that, as you know, you can, within curly brackets, give an option for that. So you would like to have something here like, you have a minimum, say, I don't know, of course, a baby wouldn't fill this in, but uh, y so you could have a different minimum maximum. But anyway, so people get answer how old they are, and then imagine you have a second question that you only want to do if people are over 18. How do you do that? Well, say for example, it is about smoking. Um, now, I mean, maybe this may be not the best example, but or let me do so for about full-time work or something like that, or you know, so it could be for simplicity here we do a radio. The question is, are you working full time? Now you assume that children are not doing that, obviously. So, but anyway, so say that's a yes/no question. Now, if you want that question is only done by people who are older than say 18, in this case you would do if. Now the answer to the question age is say greater than let's say 17. So you can just do this if age greater than 17. So that's all you do here. If age greater than 17. So this option basically means only do this question if the age is greater than 17. So let's try that out if that works. Okay. So if I save this and I compile, and I'm going. So now if I say, for example, I'm say 10, which I'm obviously not, then I would straight go to the personality questionnaire. As you predict, I didn't get the question about work, but now let's run that again. So I run that same survey again, but now let's say I'm 50. Uh, then you get, are you working full time? So now in the past, we've done that differently, right? So you could do that in the past as well, but you would do a jump. So for example, an alternative way of doing this, we would have done something like jump if age, say greater she would say if age below 18, then you could, for example, you could then skip one. You could have done, or you could have done, or you could have said if age greater than 17. Sorry. Yeah, that's actually that's how I would have done it. Sorry. So you could do these. You could also do something. If age, yeah, if age greater than 17, smaller than 18, then you could also do go to Tippy. So then you go to the next question. There are different ways of coding this, but for this example, just once more, so just typing it here, if age is sorry, this would be if it's over 17, so if 18 or more, then you have then you have this question. I thought it was sort of like easier. It's somewhat easier way of coding, so that's new. Now the next thing is actually it's about the short syntax. If you're So as you probably know, if you're coding an experiment, say for example you're in an experiment, um, there is a so-called uh, so-called command overview. Now in the command overview, you have every command that you can use in your task, and it just quickly describes it. Now one specific command that has been improved is the read keys. Now, read keys is useful if you want people to enter a word or a short sentence or multiple digits. What's new in 3.6.0 is that for you can actually get all the individual keyboard keys that have been pressed, even if people delete them and then press them again. And for every single key, you get reaction times. They are saved, and you can save them. Um, if you're interested in that, try it out. If you have questions, also you feel free to email me about this. Um, I think I probably need a little expand the documentation on this as well, and I will try to do that soon. Now, if you want to read this yourself at home, you can also always quickly, there is check what is new, and if you find it useful, have a click here. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to email me via PsyToolkit@gmail.com and stay in touch. And the main point also is if you feel like you would benefit from one of these courses, sign up for these. The information is here on the webpage. And yeah, that's it. Good luck with programming PsyToolkit.